It was at this point right here, I was thinking that my day was perfect and nothing could go wrong. Well, this is an embarrassing video. I just want to let you guys know that it always happens. It happens to the best of us. That's right. I found me a shade tree somewhere between Louisville and Nashville. I'm not reaching out for help yet, but I'll send up a smoke signal if anybody's watching. I was boogieing on down the road. Everything was fine and dandy. Air was blowing cold. Needed some cold snacks and I'm sorry, Derek, I got that from you. Needed some cold snacks and some gas. So I pulled in a gas station, came out from the restroom, smelled antifreeze. I was like, that can't be my car because it was running 190. Guys, here I am. Hood's up, kind of embarrassing. Sitting over at a hotel parking lot. Don't want to get a room for the night. I want to make it home. I'm tracking down a problem. Let's go see if you can help me. All right, so I've yanked all the wires out from under the dash. I'll go ahead and take this switch out right here. Let me bring you up to speed. My electric fans aren't turning on. That's what we're trying to figure out. Could it be the switch or what? Seeing how I didn't build this car and it's been built since I was born, we got to explore. Every fuse that I've got goes to something, including the fan, but the fan is a glass fuse. If I take this switch out and tie the wires together, that might work. Because I think the switch just went bad. Because I tell you guys on the channel all the time, and I'm going to show you in this video, how to wire an electric fan using a relay. Evidently this one doesn't have a relay. And it's been such a dependable car. I've never touched this car. I put gas in it and change the oil and have a good time. We're gonna do some things to it over the winter. All right, let's see if this works. Now, I've had so much fun this weekend, it doesn't matter what my problem's gonna be. I'm gonna smile about it and keep on going. I'm gonna unwrap this switch from the electrical tape. I'm gonna get a test light out that I bought at the swap meet. I'm going to test the switch and make sure it's good. It still doesn't need to be coming straight from the fuse panel like that with 12 volts going through it. It needs to be turning the relay off and on that evidently this car doesn't have. I've looked everywhere and can't find it, but it's so hot under the hood, I've burnt my arm and I'm just not able to dig down deep. Well, because I didn't know if this was going to be a good video and the fact that I needed two hands to run the test light, I failed to show you that. So all I did was grab a ground. The switch has got 12 volts going to it, and as you turn it off and on, the switch worked. So I put it back together, and we went on exploring some more. I started by tracking those wires down. So now I need to see if the fan works. So what I did, I disconnected the pigtail where the fan went into that orange wire that you saw come out from under the dash. I plugged that in to another wire that I robbed off the car's radio that I hardly ever use. I used that to stretch it to the back of the alternator, and voila, the fans came on. So I knew I was going to be able to get home, even if I had to hot wire the fan to the back of the alternator. So everything was going to be okay. The day was going to be saved. But while the car cooled off, I'm going to continue to look and see if I can't find out what is wrong with the fan. It's got to have another problem somewhere. A bad wire, a bad connection, a bad ground. Let's get to work, guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this back together because we've already proved that the fan works. Plug the power wire back in for the fan. And I bet you this fan switch is run off the power with no relay. I don't see a relay under the dash, and I really should expect this car. This car has got so many hundreds of thousands of street rod miles on it that it's just well proven that everything works. It's not clean and detailed like some others, but it's an old street rod. So I know the fan's working. I proved to myself that the switch was working, but something just didn't right. So I took the switch back out. I'm fixing to tie those two wires together or touch them together and see if for some reason that the switch could have been testing okay, but still been bad. But after doing so, the switch is not the culprit. There's got to be something else going on here. So I'm going to have to just keep digging. I'm going to pull these wires out of the wire loom, chase them all the way back, and make sure that that fan is plugged into one of these things. The car's starting to cool off a little bit. I'm starting to be able to reach around, but I just don't see anything in here. Well, it's time to build an emergency kit. Let me gather some stuff, get it to the front, get back on the road. All right, here we are. We are at Advance Auto Parts. So we're gonna get this stuff fixed and get back on the road. Wow, got a new subscriber out of the deal. He didn't want to be on camera. Hey, I don't blame him. Sometimes I don't either. But hey, he walked me through the aisle and carried all of my stuff to the counter. Give a big shout out. I'm in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, if anybody wants to know. I should have had that as a question and a t-shirt, but some of you guys might recognize the area. I don't. I will next time. Anyway, thanks to Advanced Auto Parts, I got a sack of goodies. They're gonna go in my go bag from now on. Let's see if the relay fixes this. So after I laughed and told y'all I was gonna show you how to wire a relay, I'm gonna do that. But after the engine cooled down, I was able to dig down in here. I got my O light out. I shined it down in there and it lit that bad boy up right there. I found it by chasing the wires down. So I chased the wires under the dash down and I found out where they had wired a fan relay up. So let's put the new relay in that we just got and see if this fan comes on. Got the new relay and we're gonna figure out, I'm gonna show you how to test a relay when I get home, and we'll make a video out of that. I just touched that and it's probably 1800 degrees. All right, we're all plugged in. You can't see it. All right, we're all plugged in down there. You can't see it very good. I can't even find it. Let's, moment of truth. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna turn the key. And if we lived right all weekend, and the man's on our side, it was at this moment I started to scratch my head. What can this be? The fan actually moved about a quarter turn and stopped. I assumed that I had a short in my fan and that it just blew the relay that I found. I think something might be wrong with our fan, because it tried to come on and then didn't. There it goes. You know what? I think we had a loose wire on the relay. That's all there was to it. The relay wasn't burned up, just a wire. All right, guys. Dang, I thought we were gonna be driving 6 hours with no electric fan. But anyway, we just spent $50 to tighten up a loose wire. But you know what? We'll use that stuff. If not on one of my cars while it's on the road, on somebody else's. But I had so much fun this weekend. It could have been $550 and I'd still be smiling. Let's get on the road, guys. Advanced Auto Parts. They didn't give it to me. It was $51.86 worth of junk in that little bitty sack. All right, we are rolling. Temperature gauge is back down to about 120. And now it's time to find some wrapped up food. We might even skip supper now. And then we're gonna get back on 65 and head to Mississippi. We're rolling now, guys. It just goes to show you guys, never give up. You can always fix your problems while you're on the road. And just think, all of these fun smile miles that I put on this car this weekend.
We're rolling now, guys.
That's the only thing that gave me a little bit of a hiccup. And I got to meet new people. I got to learn new things about the car. And most of all, I enjoy driving that car. Another 1,500 miles in the books, and I can't wait for the next road trip. All I need to do is put a new relay plug on the car that doesn't have any funky little wires on it, and I'll be good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Now get out in the garage and go build something. See you guys in the next episode. Spanky's gone.